one of the things that's been interesting in responses is that I know Harry is a really difficult man. He's a violent man. He's an arsehole. I can see that. But I've got this element of love for him because he so reminds me of so many of my cousins, so many of the boys I grew up with. And I got a great... Someone sent me a card, and it was one of the best... There was a woman who grew up in the western suburbs, and she said, I'm so excited. You've written a character that reminds me of all these boys I know who are sexist and lovable and ugly and really good men, and you've written it. And I felt that what kind of a sense of real relief there. In terms of the inhabiting, you got to understand. I came to the slap after working on Dead Europe, which was a really difficult novel to write. I'll be really quick. For those of you who don't know it, it's a book that deals with legacies of European history, particular racism and particular anti-Semitism. And it was like for such a long time I felt like what you do is you do unleash monsters, I think, sometimes when you write. And I felt like I was being possessed by these monsters. And I wanted to just get back into the pleasure of just writing and using my imagination to create characters. And what I ended up doing, I don't know if you do this, Sophie, but I would write, and then I'd get away from the computer or away from the notebook, because I do write in longhand, and I would start performing. I actually literally would start performing. I would start performing what it would be like to be a woman who's 42. What would it be like to be a woman who's 17? And try and I think I learnt this through working with actors, because I write plays, and it's actually one of the great skills that actors have taught me, that it's not only dialogue, it's not only what happens in your head, but it's also how you physically move in space that dictates what a character is. And I think without that experience of working with actors, I don't know if I could have written something like The Slap. That's how I did it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I know that when I do it in my head with just trying to get the voice right, trying to hear the voice, but that idea of actually kind of moving to some kind of performance